Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at a special release from Harbinger Studios, and that is Michael Moorcock's Elric of Melnibone. If Saturday morning cartoons fueled your imagination as a kid and powers your action figure collecting now as an adult, then you're in the right place. Thanks for stopping by, and welcome to Saturday Morning Toy Collector. And if you like my content, please consider subscribing. Over the past year, Articulated Empire has become your trusted online retailer. They carry all the latest lines like Mythic Legions, Valaverse, AWOC, Zesray Studios, and much, much more. They ship your items quickly and securely. You'll be quite happy with how Steve and his team follow through with their care and attention. Articulated Empire also offers free shipping over $75 and no tax except for Illinois residents. So head over to articulatedempire.com today and build your empire. All right, here we have a closer look at the box, and this will not be a box that I'll be tossing in the trash can because this thing is glorious, absolutely beautiful. I absolutely love this piece of artwork that they have here, and it is gorgeous. Licensed from Multiverse Incorporated, all rights reserved. Elric of Melnibone. You don't know how many times I had to practice that. I had to look up videos on how to say that, because to me it looks like Melnibone, but man, that's because I'm an idiot. Bound to chaos and driven by conscience, Elric wields Stormbringer, the soul-drinking blade. It grants him life, shapes the fate of the worlds, and seals his inevitable ruin. Here on the inside is not a write-up of Elric. It is a write-up of Michael Moorcock and who he is, when he started writing the first time, you know, some of his stories were published. So if you want to pause that and give it a read, you certainly can. And then there you have it. You see everything he comes with inside the package. I don't know if back here there is like a bagged weapon or not. I had one loose in my box, so I don't know if there's actually one in there or not. It does say here at the bottom, bonus inside, free collector card and blind bagged item, and that's pretty cool. So yeah, let's get this guy opened up and take a closer look at him. And this was everything that came inside my package. We have a weapon right here in the blind bag, and then we also have little cards for their next two big shows that they're going to be at. I think Harbinger is going to be at other shows before this, but this is a big one coming up in October. It is October 9th and 10th, the Titans Toy Expo. This is going to be in Nashville, Tennessee. $7,500 in cash prizes for the Creator Crown Awards. For Best Action Figure Photography, Best Custom Action Figure, Best Diorama, and Best Original Sculpt. That's pretty cool. And then the Titan Unity Expo, November 7th and 8th of 26. And this is going to be somewhat right down the road from Legions Con. It's going to be, it'll start Saturday, from what I understand, after Legions Con is over, and then there will be some overlap on Sunday, and then you can see all the people that are going to be there: Almighty Legends, Frazetta Museum, Savage Crucible, Creative Beast Studios, Ramen Toy, and then of course Action Force will be there as well. Two shows, 5 minutes apart, free shuttle service at One Epic Weekend. So upcoming shows right there. Let's take a look at the bonus bag item. It's a long envelope, so it feels like a long weapon. Let's see what we have here. Ooh, now I do have one of these. I do have one, but I wonder, could this be the one that is blacklight reactive? So let's give this a look. And nope, it is not blacklight reactive. All right, so now let's get into the Elric figure and see what he comes with. Alrighty, now that we have this thing opened up, man, there's a lot of stuff in here. We got a lot to go through. There is a collector's card, and I do believe that I've heard directly from Harbinger Studios that they're no longer going to do these collector's cards for the regular figures. I do believe they're coming out with the next wave of figures, but after that, they're going to discontinue them in favor of these little loot bags, which is kind of cool. Mixing it up, shaking up the snow globe and doing something different. But they may do these, continue to do these for your special releases. So like this Elric, or like if there's like a special Frazetta release that they do, or any other maybe like special release one-off figures may get a card with something. And I do believe this card is specific to this figure, unlike it being randomly inserted. So this looks like it is the horn. And if you want to pause this, you can read it. But basically, this is the Horn of Fate. And it talks about where it came from and then exactly what it has done within the narrative of Elric's saga. And that's pretty cool, because I noticed when I was taking him out of the bag or the box that he does come with this horn, and it is individually bagged so it doesn't get damaged or the paint gets scuffed or anything in package, which I thought was pretty cool. So that's neat. That we get this card, which means it's unique and special just to that character. I do want to go, he did have a weapon inside, and so I'm excited to see what this is. The size of it is not one that I have received before, so I don't think this is going to be something that I have had, and this is gorgeous. What? I love this. This bronze and gold color with this like teal or turquoise blue. That is beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And I love the length and shape of this sword. And then let's see, is there any chance that this is blacklight reactive? No, it isn't. It looks super shiny in the video, but it's not blacklight reactive. But that is dope. I love this sword. That's really cool. I'm happy with that. And then let's see what we get here for our little artifact inside of our loot bag. I don't know, we may get some coins and bullion and little gold bricks, or we may get an actual artifact. So let's see what we get here. Oh, it's a chain. This is an artifact of some sort. So what is this? This is a chain that has a, like a skull and a bangle on it. Okay, that's pretty dope. That's unique. I haven't seen this yet. Well, that's pretty cool. All right. So getting into the accessories that he comes with here, let's just start off with this big one. So he has this huge shield that has like this translucent red inlay, which looks really cool. This thing is kind of hefty. It's got this very solid strap and handle on the inside, which is really dope. I really like this, and that is a hefty shield. He does come with a cloak that is wired. It is two-tone. It's kind of like this. If you can hear that, it's kind of like this pleathery material, like I would say, like maybe for like a Batman cape. We've got some wire down this side. It's torn and ripped across the bottom, wire across the top, and then we've got two little hooks. So we'll figure out how to attach that here in a minute. And like I said, that did come bagged and I opened it up. We do have this sword right here, which is really dope. I don't think this is Stormbringer. I'm believing that Stormbringer is the sword that's on his back. Let me go ahead and start off by saying this. I don't know anything about Elric. I've never read any of the books or comics or graphic novels or anything. I didn't know anything about Elric until this morning when I saw that my figure was out for delivery. I watched a couple of videos about him and where he came from and like his story. So you're going to have to forgive me. If it wasn't for that card, I wouldn't have known that the horn was called the Horn of Fate. I'm not going to know what these things are, these little trinkets that come on him, so I'm just going to apologize. I know very little. I know a cursory amount of information about Elric, and I apologize. It's just not something that ever entered my my field of consumption as a kid, a teen, or a young adult. But this sword is beautiful. Lots of detail in the handle, detail in the sword hilt. And then some engraving. Again, I don't know if this is blacklight reactive in any way. No, it doesn't. It's not. But that's a beautiful sword and super long too. Like this sword is like almost as tall as he is. Next, he has the, we'll go over the horn when we go over the figure, but I do want to talk about this sword, which I am assuming is Stormbringer, and it is equally gorgeous. Now, I've you know, in learning about Elric, I have learned that Stormbringer is a sentient blade that has its own desire and own will. It can kill people at random, and it steals their souls. And I believe that fuels Elric and gives him power and strength. And this sword is pretty dope, and it is a little shorter than the first sword that we looked at, but not by much. So that is really cool. You saw that he came with quite the hilt on him, and this is on a strap and can be removed, and so we will do that here in just a minute. He does come with several hands in the package. He's going to come with a left weapon holding hand on a vertical hinge with no ring. He is going to come with a left weapon holding hand on a vertical hinge with a ring on his ring finger, and that is, I'll try to zoom in so you guys can see that, and that's pretty beautiful. I like that. Then he comes with two gesturing hands on horizontal hinges, so these are both gesturing. It does not have a ring on the hand. And then on him in the package, he comes with a gesturing hand with a ring and then a weapon holding hand here. He also comes with this little vial of stuff. Now, this is not a new sculpt. We have seen this before. This was in all the way back to wave 1 of the Savage Crucible line. But I do know that there are like drugs and elixirs and potions that he relies on to keep him alive and healthy and well. And maybe this is an allusion to that, which is pretty cool. He comes with a full helmeted head, and this is just some really nice design work, sculpt work. Some dry brushing on there, looks really cool. This is an extra head. It doesn't actually fit on a head, so there is no head that would fit underneath there, and it just looks so wicked and gnarly. And then he does come with this really cool helmet that has the hair kind of wisp backwards. It's a very soft and rubbery hairpiece. It's even articulated. Look, it's on a ball joint, so you can move it around. So you don't have to worry about, like, if it pops out, you can take it off and just have that if you'd like, or you can pop it back in. That's really cool. You can see Elric's face, very nicely painted. It's got some shading here. Let me zoom in for you. It's got some nice shading. Their eyes look nice. Some dry brushing on that helmet. Nice bat wings on the helmet, and they are like very soft and rubbery, which is nice. You don't have to worry about them snapping and breaking off. Just drop that little hair piece. I like that this is like on a ball joint, and you can have it or not, and it does. If it's plugged in all the way, it will stay. It's pretty nice. And then we have the head that's on him in the package, and that is just this very morbid looking, very pensive looking, pensive is the word, if we can learn English, Mark. Nice dry brushing and wash in the hair to bring it out. You have these little wisps that are hanging down, like the sullen cheeks, the eyes. Like, let me zoom in a little bit. It just looks really nice. Yeah, that's really, really cool. All right, so here's Elric standing straight up and down. And, you know, at first blush, I thought this guy was all black. Of course, with some dry brushing, you can definitely see that. But upon closer inspection, there's actually kind of like this purpley paint color sort of like dabbled throughout, which is really nice. So the light can hit it in a certain way, and you'll see some purple reflections in there. And I really like that. I think that's pretty cool. I do really like the design of like this all black figure in armor, but then this pale white face, like his albino face and hair. Now, I know he's not always depicted that way. I know that in some art he's depicted with bare arms or even bare legs, but I like the look that they went with. It reminds me very much of like Francis Ford Coppola's Dracula armor, where it's all red and then just the head is visible. It's giving me that look, but in black, right? So like that's what I'm leaning towards. That scabbard on the back is massive. That thing is crazy big. And it's got some bronze, and we're going to take a closer look at that in just a minute. But yeah, this is like, it really throws a lot of like color into the back of this figure. I may not keep that scabbard on my display, but I like that it's included. I'm sure that's how it looks in the actual lore. I'm not sure, but yeah, it's a beast in and of itself. And I really like the way this guy looks. You can see how the horn is attached. The sword, the scabbard is attached in 2 different places. The horn can be removed and like put on somebody else. If you want to like put that on any of your characters from all the way back to the very first wave of Lemurians, you can do that. And we don't even have the cloak on this guy yet, his cape. So we got to do that. But yeah, so let's get this guy off the rotating base and punch in and take a closer look at all of the beautiful detail on this armor. All right, so this is really throwing my white balance off. I may have to brighten this up in post, but yeah, this thing is beautiful. You can see right there on the chest. Hopefully, it's coming across on camera, but in real life, like there is some purple in here, and you can definitely see it. I also can see it a little bit. Where else do I see it? There's like a little purple sheen, like in the greaves. I think that looks really cool. So how all of this is connected here is if like we were to sort of like move his head out of the way, you can see that there is, in where they do like the 2 layers of shoulder armor, this little plug right here. So there is a plug right here for his scabbard. We're going to go ahead and unplug that, and then it connects here again at the waist. There's a second port, and we're going to go ahead and pull that out. I would recommend trying to get a hand on the actual plug itself and not rely on the rubber part, because you wouldn't want to like tear that. These 2 belts are removable, and then this little pouch is also removable. So like if you wanted to like remove this from the belt, and then plug it back in, you could. But I can already tell like the head of that thing and that hole, that's going to take some heating to get that in there, and I am not about to try that right now in the middle of this review. But let's stand Elric back here, and then let's just take a look at this sheath, because this thing is beautiful. This actually, you know what this looks like to me? And you guys who have read the books can tell me if this is true in the lore, but this entire piece looks like an alligator tail. I don't know if this is some sort of lizard tail, or he just used lizard skin in the construction of it, but you've got these bronze colored plates with red rubies like inset, and that thing is just gorgeous. It even has like a deep green color to it. So I don't know, you guys tell me in the comments down below, did he kill an alligator or something to the equivalent of it in the story, and that's where it came from? The sword fits in there beautifully. It is not coming out. It's a very nice and snug fit, and it feels like it's long enough that it would also fit that sword right there as well if you want to go that route. He is looking amazing. You have a little plug over here on the side for the real chain, and then the horn itself, which is beautiful. It's got this dark, deep bronze with a wash on it. Looks great. He does have like the gesturing hand on with the ring. This is how he came in the package. The armor here is removable. It just plugs into the shoulders, so you can take that off if you want and have like this chainmail look. I don't think he looks any less intimidating with the shoulder armor off. I think that still looks fantastic. And yeah, he just looks great. I wonder, the skin, I'm trying to look on I think the skin tones would not match up very well, but I was sitting here thinking, like, I wonder if you could take Naraka the Undying and pop his arms off. They're probably a little too blue, but, you know, have a sleeveless look. And just, what is going on here? Okay, so we have an articulation point here at the upper diaphragm, so he can move and twist and bend right there. He also has a joint at the waist, a ball joint so he can move and twist. And even with all this armor, look how far forward he can bend. That's insane. Less so in the back. It's less impressive in the back, but there it is. Even with the shoulder pauldrons, let's check out these arms. We're getting a beautiful T-pose with the arms. Oh, the shoulder pauldrons actually plug into the arm, so they travel with the arm to go all the way around. We have bicep swivel. We have double jointed elbows. Even with the gauntlet and all that armor, he can still get well past 90, depending on which hands you have. You can hinge and swivel. Now, as far as the head goes, it's a double ball peg, so you will be able to get lots of tilt and mobility left and right, but going backwards, not at all. It's not going to tilt back at all. He can look down, but then there's the hair to deal with. Let's take a look at each one of the heads. So let's go with the hair and the helmet. All right, that took a little convincing, but I think we got it. You can see how the hair can move around freely back behind the helmet. He can look up about that far. If we were to take that off, maybe shunt the head back a little bit, he can definitely look up a little bit further. Then he can look down that far. Uh-oh, man, I thought I had that on there a lot better than I did. Yeah, okay, that is super hard. I'm gonna have to heat that head up. Let's see if this one, it gives me any more fight. Probably not on all the way, to be honest. But man, that does look pretty intimidating, to be honest. That is pretty creepy. Now he can look up about that far and then look down that far, and then you get head rotation, bobble rotation, some emotion in there. It looks really good. Yeah, that's not on all the way. These heads need to be heated up and popped on and popped off a couple of times. But there you have it. Let's see here. What else for the armor? So let's see. Gauntlets, no layering there. You've got this little piece here, this little crotch piece. This is part of the lower waist armor. You've got some folds here on the side, and then the dry brushing on the legs, the knee armor, the lower armor. You can see chainmail down there at the bottom. Man, this is just incredible. Oh, and then yeah, we've got some, they've even managed to get some butterfly joints working in there, and that is impressive with all of this armor. Yeah, absolutely, no doubt. Very, very impressive. When it comes to articulation for the legs can go all the way forward that far, can go all the way out to the side, can go back about that far, and then double jointed can go all the way back. And then you've got some thigh rotation hidden between the joint and the upper part of the thigh, so that's nice. You've got some lower leg rotation, and then I want you guys to hear this. I'm going to move this close to the mic so you can hear it. Okay, I hope you guys could hear that. There are tons of detents in these ankles. Yeah, there are way more detents in the ankles than there have been before, and I think this might have started with Brynjar Vale. I'm not sure if it started before then, but this guy also has the same. This was the Zolocon first available. If you can hear that, there are tons of detents. But earlier releases like the Shield of Dezera does not have that. It is, you know, you're hard pressed to actually find a detent in there. But that is really cool. So I think that means that this guy is going to take far less tumbles off of your shelf than any Savage Crucible figure has before. And here's a look at Elric with the cape on. And all I did was, there are 2 elastic straps. I put each one of those around the post on the shoulder pauldrons and then just plug the shoulder pauldrons back in. It does make it sit a little bit lower on his back. Maybe there's a way that you could also do it to where it drapes up around his collar a little bit more. But as it is, the way he would be on my shelf with this cape, kind of like, you're not going to see the back anyway. But I also recommend like taking the sides of the shoulder pauldrons, like the cape, and tucking them up underneath the shoulder pauldrons. like under this edge right here, if to get it kind of flared out to the side a little bit more. I think the shoulder pauldrons will help hold the cape up a little bit if you wanted a little more dramatic pose than what you'd see here. We've been waiting for this figure for about a year, maybe, since it was first announced. And I gotta tell you, this thing has delivered. I've seen it up close and personal at shows for a while now, and without being able to handle it and pick it up and like play with it and get it into some poses, it was hard. I was very I was like, I don't know. I mean, this guy looks like it's got a lot of armor, and I don't know how it's going to move, but man, does he move incredibly well. The new detents, the way the armor is designed so it gets out of the way, the way the shoulder pauldrons move with the shoulders, the sculpt on this figure, this is just, it's absolutely beautiful. It's like a little work of art. I can honestly say that I truly, at this point in May of 26, no, we're in April of 26. I can definitely say, as of right now, I think this is going to be a top 10 figure of the year contender for me, because the sculpt and the paintwork is just absolutely beautiful. And then here is the best compliment that I think that I could give a figure based on a literary character that I know nothing about. And that is that I feel like this figure is so interesting and unique that it makes me want to go and pick up the books and learn more about this character. So Harvinger, if I know you guys want to, like, your goal is to make a great killer badass action figure and sell a lot of them. But if your goal was to also make me pick up a book and read about this character, then mission accomplished, because that's exactly what it wants to do. It makes me want to do that, absolutely. You guys let me know in the comments down below. Let's get a conversation going, and let's talk about this. What are some, if you know about this character, what are some details that stand out to you that I may have missed, having never read the books? What am I missing by not knowing a lot about this character? And do you plan on picking this character up? Are you gonna buy this guy? Do you want to see it at a show and mess around with an actual production model before you make that decision? Just let me know in the comments down below. And please check out our podcast called Across the Toyverse. Comes out every 2 weeks wherever you get your podcast, and be sure to check me out over at Instagram, where I'm trying to get up to 1,000 subs so that I can start doing lives on Instagram, and I'll start giving you guys more toy content. Right now we're at a little over 500, and we're trying to get to 1,000 so we can start doing lives. And there you can actually see more photography of this figure than I've posted here in this video. So I am your Saturday Morning Toy Collector, Mark, and I'll see you in the toy aisles.